We've got work to do offensively, but it certainly wasn't an effort problem out there and played extremely hard. To beat the third ranked team in the country, you certainly can't turn the ball over or you've got to get them. And it was 2-0. And that's what happened. But congratulations to Texas. Sark does a great job over there. And I think they've got a really good football team.
Yeah, Coach, it looked like defense came to play today. The offense, maybe you guys realized at halftime that you could maybe run the ball on them. And also, were you having to manage JaQuindon a little bit?
No, no, not no. Jaquindon was available, and we, in all honesty, we probably should have got him in there more. I just didn't want to start him because he had been out for 3 or 4 weeks, and other than that, there was no limitations on how much we play him. I do think he got into a nice rhythm. I believe he averaged 5 yards a carry today, and ran extremely hard. Um, but we didn't have a lot of rushes at half, regardless who was back there, and went into halftime, found a way to run the ball a little bit more, and then certainly when it's 13-10, had an opportunity there to do something special. But that was at half. We said we had to, because the bottom line, we'd had the sacks in the first half. Some of them were to do with the O-line. Some of them were to do with holding the ball. Some of them were due. We were, we broke in when we're supposed to break out on a couple of routes. So we just weren't really, Trey, honestly, we weren't really locked in as it looked in the first half. I thought second half a lot better offensive, but I was proud of our defensive effort, and I was proud of the way how hard our team played. Just the 2 turnovers really kind of made the difference because our defense didn't allow them to do a whole lot today either. The disappointing thing was the last drive when we were down 3, and then the very last drive that we couldn't get the ball back. But other than that, I thought the kids played extremely hard, and especially defense showed a lot of improvement.
On the drive where y'all were scoring and where CJ fumbled, it looked like maybe was Satania maybe that call for him because he came out of the game and CJ came in. It just seemed like a tough spot to put a
yeah. Well, we believe in CJ. If they're out there, we believe in it. And we knew the ball was specifically going to go to him, and we've ran it in practice, and we believe in him. Just unfortunately, it happened, and unfortunately, the ball went to the hash and stayed in bounds where their ball went out of bounds. So, but no, we believe in. If he's out there, we certainly believe in him. But just unfortunate he fumbled.
Sam, you mentioned that you were looking at a lot of changes in the secondary. We saw you shuffle it up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Just what did you think of the way they played?
I thought it worked. We got beat on a double move early down here in this end zone. And other than that, I just didn't feel like we cut people loose. There's a couple of seam routes by the tight ends that hurt us on third down. But I thought the changes we made with Stu, I have to watch the tape, but I think Stu, I think he played really good, and I think that happened with Larry and Miguel Mitchell. Those changes, and then of course we brought the guys who had played before, but I think those changes helped us have a better week, and then put the intensity over there on. It's always when you have those guys competing, both of them seem to play a little bit better, and that's what I thought happened today.
Y'all returned a couple of kickoffs and weren't able to get it out to the 25. You tried the reverse. Was that just an effort to try to get something going because the offense wasn't moving the ball, or kind of hoping
Friday in the team meeting, I told our team that we were going to try the reverse the very first time, and I was trying to pump up Jordan and the special teams, and certainly we had that opportunity, and number 9, the guy didn't bite on it. And then the second time, we probably should have fair caught that when the ball was in the air for a long, long time, and that one should have been fair caught, and we didn't. Got it out to the 16. I think one was a 14 and one was a 16. So after that, we just fair caught them all.
Given how the game flow was when you scored your touchdown and made it 13-7 what did you think about what it took to get to that point, and you're still in the game and have a chance to drive the ball and go ahead?
Man, I thought, hey, we're going to rush the field. No, I thought, here comes an opportunity for us to win. And man, I was proud. I mean, I was proud of the way that we had gotten back in the game, and certainly was hoping we could get that stop and get the ball back and have an opportunity to go score. And we was down what 2010, Trey, which you was just mentioning there, was down 2010, and we were moving again. After that fumble, we never got the ball back. So um, if ands and buts, we got to hang on to football. And if we do, we've got a pretty good team. I think we showed it out here today, but that's kind of been the story of all our losses and all our wins, depending on what we do with turnovers and even today when it was ugly, then it looked good, and it was ugly, it looked good. If we hang on the ball, I don't think it's a 20-10 game. I don't know if we win, but we sure as hell would have had a much better opportunity.
What did Bobby come across that started working offensively for you in the second half?
Well, I think we mixed it up a little bit better. We would run it 2-3 times in a row, which um, I don't think that we did that early in the game. Certainly, we're going to do what works and what we practice on and what we think is going to work. But I think we went more to running the football, and the line was blocking well, they were finishing well, the backs were running really hard. So I think that took a little bit more of the rush, the pressure of the rush off of Talon, and I believe he got the ball out a little bit faster after that. But I think it all had to do with I thought we went out and ran the ball much better, and that helped all of us at that point. Thought Andrew Armstrong made some really good catches out there, really hard catches, and had a really good game as well.
Coach, he has, the 6 sacks. It felt like a bunch of them were, Talon was in the pocket for a little while.
Yeah.
What did you make of the offensive line's performance? Were some of those
Yeah.
coverage sacks today?
They were. I mean, on the headsets, and when Tatum would come on, Bobby was saying, "Hey, you got to throw the football. You got to throw the football. You got to throw the football," and not all of them, but yeah, I thought that anytime you get a guy up, anytime you step up, and as a tackle, and you've got a guy around the corner, and anytime you step up and the guy comes back underneath on you, and if you still have that kind of time, we got problems. Now, there's a lot of reasons he didn't not throwing it, and part of them are we didn't get open, and so those 6 were kind of a collective 6 on. I don't think the running backs gave up any, but on the O-line, Taylor and the wide receivers, and we'll go to work on it.
I know it's like Andrew, 6 catches today, 8 targets, but do you feel like maybe you even need to get him even more involved just with how much more successful he's been to maybe some of the other pass catchers this year?
I think so, but then again, you're going, well, we got to run the football, you know what I mean? And you can't throw it to him every single time. So I think so. He's by far our best, our biggest weapon. He's proven that throughout the entire year. So yes, to answer your question, I think we've got to get him the ball a few more times a game.
You mentioned the turnovers, and I know that's been some to harp on, but in the 5 losses, you only had 1 takeaway, even though the defense has played pretty well in some of those games. And then with it always being 3-0, 2-0, whatever, it's really lopsided in those 5 losses. How frustrating is that? And as good as the defense has played in terms of maybe holding them in total yards, not to be getting more takeaways.
Yeah, very, very frustrating. I mean, we're not getting them, and we've got to get them. We got to knock the ball out. We got, HUD did a nice job of stripping the ball carry on the long run down their sideline, but it's frustrating. We work on it every day besides Thursday, and we've got to start getting some of those now. The first one that we gave up was a tip ball. I mean, we should have caught it, and it went up. We tipped it, and was a pick. They seem to be catching them. You understand what I'm saying? We had an opportunity. The ball was in the air forever tonight. We knocked it down. I felt like we should have picked it. So those plays are the ones we've got to make that we're not making.
And then Braylon, I guess he couldn't go today. Braylon.
He could go. I don't know how much he played, if at all, but he wasn't full speed, this week. So we played the healthy ones today.
Like I guess looking ahead, obviously you got 2 games left, still shot to get bowl eligible. Just kind of, I know it's a tough loss, but like you say, play a lot better than Ole Miss, I thought. Just how do you see you guys moving forward? And that's a big game next week.
I think in the locker room, I think our kids are ready to bounce back and play Louisiana Tech, and they'll work hard. And we need to get bowl eligible. The kids understand that they want to go to a bowl, and so they'll work hard at it, and they'll bounce back. I'm not worried about them. We've got a good tight knit football team. I'm not worried about them with the practice and all that, getting ready for next week.
You mentioned running the ball more in the second half. Did Texas show you something differently defensively that allowed you to do that, or just a choice that you guys made?
No, I think the coaches just did a really good job at halftime of getting together and figuring out what we could do. Obviously, we ran Taylor a little bit more in the second half, and we ran JJ a little bit more in the second half. But they were running extremely hard. I think we just sold out to the run a little bit more than what we did early.
The defense seemed like it was especially good on third down. Just what was going well in that area for them this time?
The coverage was better. We put some pressure on them, got a couple of sacks, gave them some different looks. We actually played more man coverage than what I thought we were going to, which anytime you can play man, you can get a little bit more pressure, and then they missed a few crossing routes on third down, helped us out a little bit as well. But I thought the game plan was good. The players ran the plan well, and we did a nice job of mixing up man, zone, rush three. A lot mixed it up well, I thought. Travis did.
You're averaging like 4.6 yards a carry in the first half, but the sacks were like 4
Took
for
it
30.
away.
Seems like when Taylor does take a sack, it's like an 8. It's always like a
Yeah.
huge sack, and obviously that makes it difficult to run the ball when you're 2nd and 17.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, where we got in trouble, and again, I don't, I haven't watched the tape. I don't know, and so much stuff happens during the game. You don't really remember even the things that you guys do. But where we get in trouble is when we take a sack on first down, and then we're just, that's got to be 0 or positive yard. It can't be -8, because those are hard holes to dig out of, and then it takes, you're throwing it 3 times in a row, whether it's a screen or not. You're throwing 3 times in a row, and you're not getting in that function of offensive line coming off the ball and trying to maul people. I think that's what we did a little bit more in the third quarter.
What was it that allowed Stewart to get on the field at corner? Because I think he hadn't played many snaps since the A&M game.
What we were doing wasn't working. So saying that, well, we're going to play you some and this, that, and that, wasn't working. So I just went in and said, we're starting him, and let's figure out if he's the best we have. But this throwing him in the game some and not, and it wasn't working. Let's give him the confidence that we have in him to go be the starter and see what happens. And so that's how that happened.
The guys who showed up on the injury report this week: Selman Bridges, June Kaj, and Anthony Switzer.
All are good. June, I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish your
was
question.
it. Like, can they come back?
Selman just had a fever. I mean, so he'll be back on Monday, and then June Kaj, I don't know that he'll be ready this week, but I'm hoping that he'll be back with that knee against Missouri. And then you said Switz, I think he'll be back by Monday. Maybe mid next week. I think he'll be back.
You mentioned Talen's legs a little bit, maybe in the second half. I mean, what'd you think of maybe his performance in that regard? And maybe he wasn't able to rip off, a big one. What do you attribute that to?
Well, they're fast and, they run to the ball hard. But I thought Talon competed his butt off. I mean, I did. I think he played extremely hard. And we put a lot on his plate, but I thought he competed hard. If you notice, he was taking care of the football. A lot of times when you're not throwing it up and you're taking sacks, a lot of times you're saying, okay, I'm gonna take this sack, but I'm not gonna have a chance to turn the ball over. And obviously we had the one pick, but that wasn't his fault. That was a dart on the line. I mean, that was a great throw. So I thought he competed well, and I thought he, helped us get back in the game and get us to 13-10. And I thought he did a great job of driving us down before the fumble to put us possibly 2017, 2013, and then we never got the ball back.
Is that something also you kind of live with Talon on like taking the long sacks, like instead of like, I mean, there's a big difference in 2nd and 14, 2nd and 18, just because he does have the escapability, or is it something where you say, hey, just take it and
No, we're trying to get rid of that, a couple times a day he turned the wrong way. I mean, he went to escape the pocket and ran into the low one, not the high one. The high one, you go the other way. But no, we'll continue to work with him, and we've got to protect him better as well. And like I said before, get open on the routes and all that. But no, we don't want that. And Lord knows if he was on the headset, you'd understand that we don't want it, with Bobby. And so we'll get it fixed. We got to get it fixed, and we're working on it. And he is too, more importantly.
So going back to Talon with his legs, I know after in the LSU game you said you didn't want to run because he wasn't ready. Was there any restraints in the first half today, and then you just open up in the second half? Or?
No, none. But because Coach Petrino and I had a talk about that, and we were going to let it fly, because Bobby was asking about it, and I said, nah, hell, let it fly. He's 95%. Let's let him fly. And so no, it didn't. Now LSU did. But this one did not.
Sam, and
Two last ones.
sorry, he's cutting me some slack for age, I know you said the kids would be ready. I know you've been doing this a long time and you guys are pros and all that, but how tough is this on the coaching staff when you have these tough losses, and kind of how do you sort of rally yourself and the staff under these circumstances?
Well, we got a job to do, and I think we all enjoy our job. More importantly, I think we enjoy who we work with and our kids. And if you're enjoying who you're around and what you're doing, you're gonna go work your butt off to try to fix whatever the may need fixed. And these kids are a joy to be around. They really are. And so we'll collect it up and rally around, and I expect us to have a really good game next week.
appreciate it.
Thank you.